Lord be with you.
I have not changed my answer. I will not sell you the rights to my mines. Not today, not tomorrow, nor in 100 years. You will not get your hands on my silver.
You forget I have influential friends. If you won't sell the mines, you'll lose them. Just like Malishov. Along with your life, if you defy me.
Mind your step. Two can play that game. Did you really think that I didn't know you were stealing the royal silver, eh? When your self-proclaimed king finds that out, your head will be on the chopping block.
Seize that traitor!
Not another step.
You'll get yours too, turtle dove. What are you waiting for? Can't you see? They're threatening the Royal Mint Master!
He's one of them! Get him!
Fuck you! It'll be over.
Can't quite do that! Leave him alone! Don't hit him! You'll be sorry, fucker!
Slice him up! You got him!
Yeah!
Now you're
Useless!
bleeding like a stuck pig.
Bleeding like a stuck pig!
You'll pay for that!
Didn't see that coming, eh?
Wanker! Take that, you shit! I'll slice you up!
Damn. They gave me a going over. Good thing you showed up, lad.
You alright, sir? Looks like you took some hits.
It's just a scratch.
Papa! My God! You're hurt!
I'm all right. What the hell was that, Rosa?
I saved your life. Didn't you notice?
We would have been in the right if you hadn't taken the shot. Now we have the blood of the king's men on our hands. Do you have any idea what this means?
Was I supposed to let one of Sigismund's lackeys insult us in our own home?
And you thought this was a better solution?
You know what? Let's just leave it be. I don't want to argue in front of the young man here. Apologies for the mess, stranger. There aren't usually so many corpses strewn about our courtyard.
I should be the one apologising. Some of it is my handiwork.
It won't be your concern, though. I promise. We'll call the guards and tell them what happened. That Ulrich Vavak and his men attacked us for no reason.
You think that will make them let us off the hook?
Not for free. But knowing young Plimmel, the commander of the guard, I'm sure he won't refuse my coin. But back to you, lad. Who are you? And why have you graced us with your visit?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, squire to Lord Capon of Perkstein.
Pleased to meet you. Conslin Routard. And this feisty creature here is my daughter Rosa.
Like father, like daughter.
Why did your master send you to me, Henry?
He didn't, sir. Unfortunately, he's in enemy captivity.
We're sorry to hear that.
But I plan to rescue him. And I believe you can help me with that.
We can? How?
Lord Capon is held at Malashov.
Our Malashov? I don't envy him. I was planning on fixing the roof before they took it from us. It's full of leaks. I doubt its new master will lift a finger to do anything about it. But tell me, why would I meddle in matters that don't concern me?
Well, we all stand on the same side. Against Sigismund.
That is undoubtedly true. I don't like that ginger bastard either. Especially since his people started sticking their fingers in my coffers. But to get involved in something as dangerous as freeing a captured nobleman in a territory conquered by Sigismund?
We have to do something to help. I know it's dangerous.
Dangerous? It's madness. What if somebody finds out?
Does it really matter?
It certainly does, lad. I'd only end up with my head on the chopping block. And I don't even want to think about what they'd do to Rosa.
That's true. As long as Vavak's breathing down our necks, we have to be careful.
Who is he, anyway?
Ulrich Vavak von Neuhaus. The new mint master appointed by Sigismund himself. He's had it in for us ever since he took over the office. He's been pressuring me to hand over my mining rights. It seems he'd like to see me reduced to a beggar. And now we've killed his men. The king's men. I'll have to reach deep into my pocket to get out of that. Like Rosa said, lad, as long as Vavak is around, my hands are tied. I'm sorry.
We will have to untie your hands then. What should I do?
There might be something. It's obvious Vavak is getting richer than his office warrants. There are rumors going around that he's stealing the king's silver. He even uses it to mint counterfeit groschen, using a fake dye. If Sigismund were to find out, he'd have him executed at once, regardless of his noble blood.
But you need evidence to make such an accusation, right?
Exactly.
But how do we find it?
Some of the silver goes missing somewhere along the way to the mint. And we have to find out where.
Find out? But how? They don't let just anyone into the mines and smelting works.
You're right. Only authorized people are allowed in. Fortunately, we have an ally. My friend Peter of Pisek. They ousted him from the Mint Master's office, but his brother Christian remained in the Italian court. He wanted to become the Mint Master himself, but because of Vavak, he had to settle for the steward's office. He hates him even more than we do on account of it.
And that's saying something.
Christian and I were just talking about his suspicions. He'd welcome any dirt you can dig up on Vavak, just as much as I would. If you go to him and ask for help on my behalf, I'm sure he'll accommodate you. I'll help you free Lord Capon in exchange for evidence of Vavak's fraud. That's fair, isn't it?
All right. It's a deal. I've already met Peter of Pisek, and I know he can be trusted. Let's hope the same goes for his brother.
Excellent. You'll find Christian and Horshan at the estate near the mines. Tell him the password, Via Argentum, the pot of silver. He'll know who he's dealing with. But be careful, both of you. This is our last chance to stop Vavak.
We'll be praying for you.
Get out of my sight. I don't have time to discuss it with Paul. You'll be watching it from now on, all right? Or I'll have to find another fet.
You can't just sack me, steward. I got this job from Ulrich von Neuhaus.
But I can make sure he knows how you run the place. That's the 5th yucca who got scrushed in here.
This is some jiggery-pokery.
Be quiet. And now clear off. Do you need something?
God bless.
You're a Christian of Pisek?
I am. What do you need?
Kunzlin Ruthard sent me. About Via Argentum.
I see. But I'm afraid I don't have good news for Sir Kunzling. I haven't made much progress regarding the matter we discussed. I just don't have the time to investigate. I'm always needed somewhere, and there's always someone following me around.
Well, that's why I'm here. I'll help you with your investigation.
Excellent. You'd be pulling a thorn from my side. What's your name?
Henry.
All right. Listen up, Henry. Nobody can know I'm looking into it. It's a very dangerous game, but hopefully I don't need to tell you that.
Lord Ruthard mentioned something of the sort.
Excellent. Excellent. You don't happen to come from a family of miners or smelters, do you?
No, I don't.
I thought as much. I'll be happy to tell you everything you need to know. Now, follow me, please. We need to talk somewhere in private.
Where should I start looking?
Straight to the point. I like that. We know for a fact the silver must be getting lost somewhere on its way to the mint. That means it would be best to discreetly inspect all operations and find out where the problem is. First of all, you should ask miners from every shift how many corves they mine in a day. After that, we'll compare the numbers to the mine record books and see.
But the yields aren't the same every day, right?
True. That's why we have to focus on one particular day. For example, the other day, on the Feast of St. Petronilla, Foreman Fett was beaming and bragging to me about how much it helped. Mined out.
Won't they be suspicious if I ask those kind of questions?
Of course. You'll have to proceed with the utmost caution. Nevertheless, the miners are a strange bunch. They might not be very forthcoming at first, and they have an odd way of speaking. Like calling each other Sonny, however old they are. But you'll hear for yourself. You should pretend to be really interested in them, and maybe they'll open up to you. You could be a scholar writing a treatise on silver mining, or perhaps a nobleman interested in buying a mine. Or just say I'm your distant uncle who's initiating you into the ins and outs of my job. It's up to you.
I reckon I could pose as a curious scholar.
Suit yourself. Just don't change your story so you don't arouse suspicion. But to the point, each day 3 shifts work in the shaft. Each has its foreman, or gaffer, as they say. The first shift is led by Frank, the second by Paul, and the third by Samko. You'll have to ask each one of them how many corves they mined. Samko's hewers should be off work now. You'll find the other 2 shifts in the mine. Take this, so the guards will let you in. It's a letter of safe conduct bearing my seal, allowing you free movement within the mine.
And what are you going to do?
I'll return to the estate to do my job. What else? I reckon they must be wondering where I am by now. Once you find out how many corves the 3 shifts mined on the Feast of St. Petronilla, return to me. We'll compare that number to the entry in the mine book. And don't forget, don't draw attention.
By the way, I've had the honour of meeting your brother, Peter.
Well, well. Small world.
He was a great help to us at Suchdol.
Even though we had some disagreements, I respect him for everything he succeeded in doing. If it weren't for him, I'd never have been able to do what I do.
Ah, I see. Has it happened?
Are you Foreman Samco?
Aye, I am. Who's asking?
My name is Henry. Steward Christian sent me to you. I'm a student from Prague, and I'm writing a treatise on miners and mine operations.
Why should I care? Didn't you see we're off graft?
Sir Christian told me to ask about anything that interests me, and that you'll tell me.
Ah, Sonny, I'm so tired. I haven't even got the strength for gabbing. I wouldn't mind having a game of dice, but minus rules. Then I'll tell you everything. What'd you say?
You should obey Sir Christian and just tell me what I want to know. You don't want him coming to you when you're off work to tell you off.
That I don't, kidder. Ask away, then.
What is the work of a miner about?
Aye, that's a good question, Mara. Mostly about oaking. Any yakker'll tell you that. But proper rest is even more important than graft. You're as weak as a midgie without it.
So how do you rest?
Depends. Some have a kip, some a swally, some go whoring. As for me, I play dice.
How do you mine ore?
Either we're on hard rock, and then no one's hewing shit, or we're hewing something soft, and then it goes grand. Only then there's not much silver in the ore, and you've got to smelt the shit out of it.
How many cores did you mine on, say, the Feast of St. Petronilla?
I can tell you exactly. All the yakkers were working, and we were getting along nicely. We managed to howk 34 corves, without skimping on hame time. First time in ages, that was.
How much do you make doing this?
Don't even get me started. The chink's bad, and it's getting worse. Half a grosh and a cough is no.
That's all I need to know. Foreman Frank?
What you looking for, Sonny? Can't you see we're hewing?
Sir Christian of Pisek sent me. I'm a student at the university in Prague. Henry. I'm writing a treatise on silver mining.
I didn't know you scribblers were interested in us ordinary yakkers, but you can't just amble around. You'll count your creels.
I'll just have a few questions.
The more we gab, the less we gar. But make it snappy, man. What do you want to know, like?
I wonder, how much do you mine in a day?
That depends on how much ore you howk out of this or that face. It varies.
How much did you mine, say, on the Feast of St. Petronilla?
Listen, kidder. Aren't you a bit too curious? Why do you need to know that for? Them numbers won't be useful to nobody.
What do you want in return for telling me? Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, there is something you could do for us. Me and my crew have been howking away in this heat, and we're bloody parched. We could do with a proper bevy, but Foreman Fett got scunnered we were boozing in the shaft, so he locked it away in a chest on the bank, bringing enough ale for the whole crew. And I'll tell you how many corves it was.
I'll try to get you that beer.
You could try talking some sense into Fett. Maybe he'll listen to an outsider, and see that tormenting yakkers with thirst is inhuman. Take care.
You're the head foreman here?
And who are you? You have no business here.
Henry. I have a letter from Sir Christian. I'm a student. I'm writing about the life of miners.
As if anyone cares. They call me Fett. Head gaffer, Thet. If you have any questions, ask away and don't keep me waiting.
Did you lock away the miner's beer in a chest?
Aye, I did. They shouldn't be drinking on the job.
Come on. You can't leave them down there dying of thirst. They're your men. They're down there breaking their backs, and you're denying them some refreshment.
Well, aye. It is pretty hot down there, isn't it? I'll make an exception. Just this once. But if they muck up, I'll have their hides. Here's the key. Bring them the beer. It'll be nice and cold. Greetings.
I've got the ale right here.
That's proper canny, Mara. The lads will be chuffed.
Glad to hear it. Now tell me what I want to know.
The Feast of St. Petronilla, you see? Aye. That was a good bloody gar. We hewed no less than 36 corves, we did.
Thanks.
Forth we beseech thee, O Lord, thy grace into our hearts, that we, to whom the incarnation of Christ, thy Son, was made known by the message of an angel.
Are you Foreman Paul?
Hey! You walk like a ghost, kidder. You gave me a bit of a fright there. Hold on. I don't know ye. Who are ye? And what are you doing so deep in the pit?
My name's Henry. Sir Christian sent me. I'm a student at the university in Prague, and I'm writing a thesis on the life and lot of miners. Are you praying? Why?
The day before the feast of St. Petronilla, a kidder was hawking here. Young jaybird, a young'un, still wet behind the ears. We dinged the berg, set it ablaze, all good. He took a mell, battered the fault, and the props spangued out. It all came crashing down on him. Done him right in, it did.
That's awful. I'm sorry about your friend.
He weren't just me marrow. He were my blood. I raised him from a nipper since my sister died. He kept begging me to take him on a shift, saying he was strong as a horse. Wouldn't have taken her like. And now, I can't forgive myself.
Come on, it wasn't your fault. Accidents happen. It's God's will.
I suppose you're right. Will you pray with me for his soul one last time?
Aye. I'll pray with you.
You're a canny lad. Repeat after me. Almighty and merciful God, our Father, you are the giver of gold, silver, bronze, copper,
Almighty
tin,
and
iron,
merciful God,
and
our
all
Father,
ores and metals.
you are the giver
I ask
of
that you
gold,
bless me brother who
silver,
has died in this
bronze,
mine.
copper,
And may
tin,
your holy angels
iron,
save his soul from
and all
damnation.
ores and
Bring his
metals.
soul to
I ask that
eternal
you bless
glory
my
through
brother
our Lord,
who has died
our
in
Saviour
this
and
mine.
Redeemer, Jesus
May your
Christ.
holy angels save
Amen.
his soul from
The
damnation.
angel of the Lord declared
Bring
unto
his
Mary,
soul to eternal
and she
glory
conceived the Holy
through
Spirit.
our Lord,
Hail
our
Mary.
Saviour and
And
Redeemer,
Mary said,
Jesus
Behold,
Christ.
I am the handmaid of
Amen.
the Lord. Be it done unto me according to thy word. Hail Mary. And the word was made flesh, and dwelt...
So, are you going to answer me now?
Aye. Thanks for praying with me. Ask a boot out.
So how many corves did you mine, say, on the Feast of St. Petronilla?
That weren't a good day. Nobody was in the mood for ganning on after what happened to Jaybird. But even so, we managed to hawk 30 corves.
That's all I need to know.
If you say so, Mara.
I already know how many corves the crews extracted on the Feast of St. Petronilla. It was 100 altogether.
I see. Meanwhile, I looked in the mine book. How many do you think it says there?
I'd say it's more.
Seriously? Why would anyone report more than they actually mined? The book lists 90 corves extracted. That means 10 corves of ore disappear each day. But nobody could just come along and take them. We keep a close watch on everything. The unreported corves must be going out to smelting works with the rest of the ore. That means
What does it mean?
that this is fraud of colossal proportions, and that Foreman Fett and Herman the ore merchant are in it up to their ears.
What are we going to do about it?
Well, we need to make them tell us more, but carefully. Being involved in the theft of silver is a capital crime, so it should be in their own interest to cooperate. Make sure to promise them no one will know about their crime. You can mention my name. When you've talked to them, come back to me and we'll figure out what to do next.
Gepriesen sei der Herr.
We need to talk, Herman.
And who might you be?
Henry. But that's not important. Sir Christian sent me. We found some discrepancies in the mine book.
Discrepancies?
How do you explain that the miners extracted 100 corves of ore on the Feast of St. Petronilla, but the book only says 90?
If it says 90, there must have been 90. The book does not lie.
Or someone is writing down false numbers and hiding 10 corves.
I do not write anything in the book myself. Foreman Fett counts the corves here. Go and talk to him instead.
Don't tell me you don't count them too. You wouldn't pay for more corves than there really were.
Do you have any idea how much ore passes through my hands? How am I supposed to remember how many there were ausgerechnet on the Fest of St. Petronilla? Besides, miners can lie and say they extracted more than they did. They like to show off.
All 3 crews agreed to report more. I seriously doubt that. Look, you don't have to be afraid to tell the truth. Me and Sir Christian agreed to settle the matter quietly. We're not going to punish anyone.
I am innocent. It was Fett's idea. He came to me saying we were going to deliver more corves to the smelters than we would report, and I would get paid for it. It was going well. I have always paid for what we put in the book. Then I got some geld from Fett on the side. On the Feast of St. Petronilla, I was afraid they would be able to tell the difference. 10 corves is 10 corves after all. Nobody at the smelting works cared at all. I am sure they are in on it too.
How long has this been going on?
Several months, maybe half a year. About since Sigismund arrived.
Is Ulrich Vavak behind this?
The Mint Master? I have no idea. I am a mere assayer. I have never even met Vavak.
So Christian and I agreed to investigate the matter in secret. So just act like nothing's going on. Keep doing what you're doing. We don't want to scare off the people who are actually responsible. Understand?
Yeah, I understand. I will be as silent as the grave.
I'm sorry.
A word, Foreman.
What is it this time, bookworm?
Sir Christian sent me. I need to discuss a delicate matter with you.
Don't tell me one of the yakkers shat all over the outhouse in the yard again.
I'm afraid it's a little worse than that. We found some discrepancies in the mine book.
Let Sir Christian handle it then. They're his books, and his responsibility too.
But you're the one counting the corves of ore.
Your point being?
I learned that the miners extracted no less than 100 corves on the Feast of St. Petronilla. You told me it was 90. And that's how much the mine book says too.
Do you think the yakkers know how to count? They're blockheads. And they like to show off. I'm sure they just exaggerated. Anyway, what's it to you? Did the steward send you to snoop around? Don't you know? I work for Vavek, the mint master himself. I'm under his protection.
Aye, there's no point in denying it. Herman told me everything.
Bloody snitch.
He had no choice. If you tell me everything you know right now, you'll go unpunished. I can guarantee that in Sir Christian's name.
Keva, you're all I need. As soon as I was made head gaffer, Amara, who works at the smelting works in Grund, came to me. He said someone wanted to talk to me. One of them. So I met this fella in the tavern in Grund, and he told me how it all works. How to cut the books like. He told me the trick was not to report some of the extracted ore, and transport it secretly to the smelters, along with the rest. He made it very clear, if I didn't play along, I could have an accident. There was nothing I could do.
Who was that fella from the smelter who came to you?
He never told me his name, even when I asked. He's a tall bloke, stocky, pockmarked. I don't scare easy, but this bloke was terrifying.
How long has this been going on?
For some time now, definitely. I heard even former head gaffer Kircher was in on it too.
Where can I find him?
You can't ask Kircher any questions. He fell down a shaft. They say he was drunk. But I don't think it was an accident.
All right. Just carry on as if nothing's happened. No one must find out we know about the fraud. Christian won't give you any trouble, nor will anyone else. Is that clear?
Clear as a bell, Mara. I'll be silent as the grave.
I talked to Fett and Herman.
And? Did they confess?
They did. I mean, I made them. It's just as we thought. The trail leads to the smelting works.
Did you tell them to keep quiet and act as if nothing's happening?
I did.
Let's see what we've got so far. Those 10 unreported corves leave for the smelting works from here. If silver's going missing, that's where it must be happening. You'll have to go and look around, and talk to the owner, Buresh. I reckon that'll be tricky, though.
How so?
Buresh is a very cautious and clever man. I reckon he won't be happy to have someone snooping around his property. But he's the only one who can give you permission to walk round the smelting works without the guards bothering you.
Something like your letter of safe conduct. How can I persuade him to give me one?
Like I said, it won't be easy. Nevertheless, I found a way you could gain his trust, at least a little. You'll pretend to be a nobleman interested in buying some smelting works, who'd like to get a closer look at his operation.
A nobleman this time, then?
But be careful. Baresh won't be as easily fooled as the simple pitman here. You'll have to dress like a real nobleman. That means no plate armor, or, God forbid, bloody rags. But listen, don't carry a weapon. Baresh has a morbid fear of someone threatening him. That's why he has a bodyguard with him at all times. You must come to him dressed to the nines and act impeccably, so as not to arouse the slightest suspicion. In short, be charismatic. As charismatic as you can manage.
I got it. I'm ready to go.
Here, I've written you a letter of introduction to take with you and give to Baresh. I reckon he won't be thrilled, but he won't turn you down. Ask him discreetly, in passing, how many corves he took from our mines on the feast of Saint Petronella. If my guess is correct, it should be 90. It still doesn't prove anything, but at least it'll give us a clue. You could get something out of the workers. One of them is bound to know something. When you're in the smelting works, keep your eyes peeled. I'm sure something is going on there. Good luck, Henry.